hear, man. I've been watching your podcast.
Okay, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We don't have several guests on. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir.
We trying to build a
I
community.
see
Um,
that. Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Most definitely, we try to shed light on everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, that is not in the spotlight. We done had a few big guests on as well,
For
but
sure.
anyone who's trying to get their story out there and shed light on their career, their music, you know what I'm saying, business or whatever it is,
Hmm.
most definitely they welcome on Street Dialogue podcast. You know what I'm saying?
I love
We're
it.
gonna try
Absolutely.
to see if a few more people come off in here.
Let's do it.
If not, most definitely we still gonna go ahead on with the flow.
Gotcha. Go. How's your day been, man?
Um,
Gotcha.
my day been good. No complaints. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? No complaints. Yeah, my day been going good so far.
that's nice, man. That's good. That's good. I've been meaning to ask you where you based out of?
I stay in Iowa, but I
Iowa.
also drive trucks as well.
Got it. Got it.
So you know what I'm saying. I'm on the go like right now. I'm on the truck right now. When I'm out on the truck, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Yeah. So I stay on the move. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying.
Yes,
So we're
sir.
gonna go ahead on and get this thing started.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you everybody for joining. Welcome to Street Dialogue Podcast, where we get dialogue from a street perspective. And today we have a special guest on today, Brook Simba. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you. It's a joy to be here. It's an incredible joy and an honor, man.
I appreciate that. So
Mm.
go ahead on and introduce yourself for the fans that are watching and for people that might not be familiar with who you are. Go ahead on and introduce yourself to the world, my brother.
Absolutely. My name is um Simba X. That's what I go by. That's my rap name. That's my performance name. Uh, I'm based out of Denver, Colorado. That's where I was born and raised. Um, yeah, basically.
Got you.
Hmm.
So we like to dive into your background. You know, give us a little backstory of, you know, how you grew up, where you from, you know, and things of that sort. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead on and just give us a little dive into the background, your little backstory of who you are.
Of course, yeah. So my backstory basically is I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado. That's where I am right now. Um, I fell in love with music at a very early age. I found it as a sort of refuge away from stuff that was going on in my life, and um, it's become really everything to me in many ways. Uh, uh, well, I grew up here, and I saw tragedy, if you will, at somewhat of an early age, and from then on, man, like music was my refuge. Music became what I went to find some reconciliation, to find some peace,
Right,
and
right.
yeah, and I'm the type of guy who smiles often, but doesn't really say what's on his mind as much. So I found music as that outlet to kind of let that stuff off my chest, get some stuff off my chest, so that I can grow. And I've also always felt this need to speak on uh, things in my life, things that a lot of people don't necessarily get access to. When you put a beat behind it, when you put th- uh, a good hook on it, or something like that, people can jive and everything. And if they really listen, if they take the time to really listen, there's a deeper meaning behind it. And that's always kind of been um, the way I like to make my music. It sounds amazing. It sounds good. Hopefully to the listener, that's the objective. But it also really makes them think. And I like to be honest on my music. I like to wear my heart on my sleeve and be transparent. So that's always been a big thing for me, to really grow as a person. I think that you can use different outlets as well, to kind of express yourself and get the full picture of the mind and the man behind the message. That's really been my biggest goal and my biggest objective so far in life. What's that? Sorry, I'm having some trouble hearing you, my man. Let me take you off the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I just giving us some technical difficulties today. Uh, say that again. I can't hear you for some reason. It's not bringing me the voice or the question. Yeah, let me see. Try to
Can you hear me
see.
now?
There we go. Yeah. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Perfect.
So what I was saying was
Yeah.
the tragic event that you went through growing up that impacted your life. What actually was that you went through that made you want to actually get into the music that you seen?
The tragic event that impacted me. I cut off there. Sorry.
Yeah. You say
What?
you seen something tragic when you was younger.
Yeah. What was it?
What was that actually?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Gotcha. So, at about 15, 16 years old, um, my father fell ill, and he passed away a few years after that. So, my whole world basically fell apart. I didn't really know how to deal with it much. I
Right.
kept a lot of things inside. I kind of hid a lot of things from my friends and my family, that knew me before that. I really went into myself, and I didn't really know where to go or where to look in many ways. So that's what pushed me towards the music. So what I would do is, like, to cope with that, I would go on walks in the early morning, and I would just put my headphones in and just go for a walk. And in doing that, I found an escape from all the noise, all the madness. You know what I mean? Everything kind of fell apart. My dad was like the breadwinner of the family, you could say. So
Right.
once he passed away, um, it was really just my mom and my two baby sisters left, and trying to navigate different financial circumstances, trying to navigate how to really pick up and how to move on without him. It wasn't just emotionally speaking, but it was also like um, our whole world kind of caved in on us. We had nowhere to look, so we really relied on each other in a lot of ways, and that was kind of the thing. We struggled a lot, and in our struggle, I kind of found the music as somewhat of like, one day I'll give you what you deserve, not necessarily what you got, not necessarily what the world has given us, but I'm gonna give you what you deserve. You know what I mean? That's been my dream, to give them the life that they deserve. That's really what motivates me more than anything. It's not about. Uh, I think I differ from some people some of my peers, in the sense that it's a lot more personal for me. It's not necessarily just. I'm not a big fan of the Flash. I'm not a big fan of things of that nature. But it's really more of like um, giving them what they deserve. That's really been my main goal, my main objective. Also to, yeah, yeah. Also to make sure that like their work wasn't for nothing, right? Their work wasn't for nothing.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you. So basically, once your father passed
Mm-hmm.
at a young age, that's a tough loss. Most
Yes, sir.
people don't go through that and experience that at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
and that's an unfortunate situation. So it was a lot of pressure on you to be the man and the role model of the house for your two sisters, and also to be that strength for your mother. I could see. So now today,
Yes,
looking back
sir.
on what
Yes, sir.
happened, how
It
do you think that
it was a
built you
lot of
as a
pressure. It was a lot of pressure growing up and trying to navigate that situation in a lot of ways. Um, uh, you kind of you just look for good examples around you. You look for uh, role models that could possibly um, shape you in a way that you can be proud of. You know what I mean? And uh, that's really the main thing that I tried to focus on early on. Um, I missed the last bit of your question there. What was,
yeah? Basically, I was saying, how did that shape you? You know what I'm saying, and being the man that you are today. You know,
yeah,
going through those experiences. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
It shaped me. It had a big impact on me, and you could see it in my music, man. Like I played back some of my music, and I was very angry. You know, there was a lot of anger inside of me. I grew up with a lot of anger. In my formative years, I was very angry.
mm,
I was mad at the world, man. I was really mad at the world, and I didn't know how to deal with it, especially when it's something like that. I looked for like something that I could fight towards, or something that could, where to direct my anger, if you will. But there was nothing there. And then it came to a point where you get to a certain age, you kind of realize that this anger is burning you up inside. You know, this anger is not leading to anything healthy. Uh, you know, I had to take a
right.
couple steps back a few years after that and try to become a man that I could be proud of, a man that I can look back on and uh, really appreciate in terms of growth. And that's kind of what I'm becoming. And I'm really thankful for the people around me. I'm really thankful for my loved ones and the people that support me because without them, man, they really help you see the light, you know, on those dark days or when you're super angry. They really help you see the light, especially the way I was growing up, I was really like a happy-go-lucky kid. You know, I was a kid that smiled, laughed a lot, um, made a lot of jokes. But after my father passed, I changed a lot. I became a lot more um, uh, angry, like I said earlier, but also um, driven. You know, so that's that's really what happened. I had to grow up from I had to grow. You know, the thing is that like I saw a lot of people take advantage of my mother's kindness growing up. You know,
Mm,
um, they took advantage of her kindness and her lack of knowledge in certain areas. My mother's a very intelligent person, but you know, there were certain things that when let's say banks or different businesses could see that she wasn't aware of um, everything in the contract, they definitely, you know, they did what they do. They're business people. I don't fault them or blame them now, especially since I'm grown. I understand how it is, but when I was younger, it definitely affected me. It definitely made me a very angry youth. We used to struggle like month to month. making these payments. And my sisters, my mom, it just felt like, you know, we were just being, uh, how can I say, taken advantage of, in many aspects, but also like, uh, it just felt like things wouldn't necessarily change unless you made them change. So that's why, like with my music, I'm very aggressive in my music. You know, that's really
Right.
how it shaped up. Yeah, that's really how it shaped up.
So your inspiration for music
Hmm.
didn't actually come from artists. It was actually from your father,
In
correct?
in in a lot of ways, yeah.
Or
In a
was it
lot
a
of ways, it was.
mixture of both?
Um, it was my father and who else? What did you say? I'm sorry.
I'm saying, like, was it a mixture of artists as well as your father?
Yes, yes, yes. In many ways. So it was really, it was, once I lost my father, I looked to these artists that I listened to for some sort of answers, or some sort of guidance in a lot of ways. So these different artists, my inspirations, if you will, they really helped me become the man that I am. When you lose your father at such a formative age as a man, it really does make a big impact on you, and the way that you act, and the way that you see your goals and your dreams in the future as well. Like you said, it was a lot of pressure. I felt like the whole world was on my shoulders. So I really looked to artists that made me feel like I could be something one day. Made me feel like, it wasn't all bad. It made me feel like I could pick up and go if I really put my mind to it. If I really worked hard, anything was possible. And
So
the
what was
man
some of them artists that you looked to?
got you,
Like, what were some of the names of the artists that you looked to that you was able to cope through your situation with?
got it. So a lot of the artists that I took inspiration from were artists like rappers like DMX, his struggles with his life, his hardships. His music really resonated
Right.
with me. It really resonated with me. Um, in terms of like, you take all of that pain and all that suffering, and you channel it towards something that you believe in. That's a big thing that I learned from him. Another artist that really inspired me growing up was XXX Tentacion. Já
Yep.
sei on for. Yeah, because
Yeah.
specifically because the way he changed. He grew up. Well, his earlier music was very aggressive, very angry, but then I remember I heard it was the song Hope. I heard that song, and I remember the moment. It just, all of a sudden I was like, maybe, if he can find a way to feel better, if he can find a way to be a positive influence on the people around him, and in his own life, then I could too. I don't have to be angry all the time. I don't have to be sad all the time. I could be a lot more than that. I started to really look for things that would help me grow, and instead of help me just cope with the situation. You know.
Got you. Got you.
Hmm.
So, um, what do you think you could bring to the music world that another artist doesn't bring? Like, from your
Hmm.
music, what do you think you could bring that could impact people in a way that you would impact them when you was younger? What do you think you could bring to the music industry through your music?
Gotcha. What I really think that I can bring to the music industry, and what I aim to bring, what I'll bring in due time, hopefully, is inspiration. You know, inspiration. Uh, in fact, this is the first time that a lot of people will hear that I went through that. even some of the closest people to me, some of my closest friends, I haven't told them yet. Still, like I've known them for years. I've seen them for years. I haven't really expressed that side of myself. I haven't really told them. I don't know how. I don't want anybody to pity me or feel bad in any sort of way. So I kind of just keep that to myself, and I, hope to one day put it in my music. So anybody else that feels that kind of pain or experiences these types of tragedies could look to my music, hopefully to inspire them. I think my number one goal is inspiration, or a friend just putting a hand on your shoulder, letting you know that it's not over. The world isn't over. You can keep going. You can find what makes you happy. You can find what you're good at, and that's the main thing for me. It's really a matter of inspiring and reaching out to the people who the folks that feel like they don't have anybody, or they feel like they can't speak about certain things with certain people. I hope my music can really soothe them in the way that a good friend can, or one day hopefully a role model in a way, a role model in a sense. I hope to always push myself to be better than I am, so that anybody that supports me or appreciates my music or my art in general could really see the aftermath, or the outcome of not the aftermath per se, but the outcome of uh, what it is really to pick yourself up when it's darkest outside. When times are dark, you have two choices. You can either lay down and just let them be dark, or you can get up and work your ass off to be everything that you can. And with that also being said, you got to show yourself some kindness. You got to be kind to yourself in this world. This world can be really unkind sometimes. So you really got to be kind to yourself and understand that you have yourself in times that there's nobody around. That doesn't mean that you can't reach out or look for help from other people, but also remember that you have yourself in your corner. I was telling somebody earlier this week, and as I was expressing it to them, it kind of opened my eyes up a little bit too, in the sense that I don't think a lot of us realize that in dark times we also have ourselves, in the sense that you know, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to tell yourself you're doing a good job. You have to tell yourself you're doing the best that you can. And in due time, you put one step in front of the other and become who you're meant to be. Not necessarily what your circumstances dictate, but who you're really meant to be. Who you feel yourself becoming doesn't always have to be something that is out of your control. You can very well control the person that you become one day, and that's a big message that I hope to send to anybody that listens to me, and anybody that uh, really looks for hope in dark places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel exactly where you come from when you speak about things of that sort, because people do go into a dark place and they can't recover from it, and that's why mental health is
Mm-hmm.
so valuable issue that we need to talk about more, because your mental strength could take you a long way, or it could break you down to the point
Mm-hmm.
where you could be stagnant, and you could dwell in your sorrow, and you might not be able to overcome everything. So most definitely you have to build up your mental strength, and
Mm-hmm.
with that it takes experiences. Everybody experiences things through life that they got to go through, where you're going to need that mental strength, and you have to learn.
Mm-hmm.
If not, it's going to break you down and tear you down. You might
Mm-hmm.
not never recover from it. So a mind is actually a terrible thing to waste, you know, especially when hardships and things like that do take place in
Mm-hmm.
your life. It's definitely understand where you come from in that aspect.
Hmm.
So I wanted to dive into music. So what do you consider basically when it comes to your brand and the type of music, what category you place yourself as an artist, you know, when it comes to the type of music you make? Like how would you categorize yourself?
Got it. To be honest with you, man, um, I would I would categorize myself in terms of almost like inspirational music. When I say that, I don't mean to shy away from any specific type of category, but one of my biggest goals in making music is to be versatile. You know, you're not always gonna feel one type of way all the time. Sometimes, some days I feel like rapping, some days I feel like singing. So with that being said, it's I think it's important to tap into all sorts of different inspirations when making music, whether that's from an artist that you really appreciate or a song that you heard and you never heard before. Um, I think that the best thing that you can do as a person, I think the highest act as an individual is to inspire. You know, I think that that is the number one thing that a human being is capable of. Inspiration in whatever way it may be. And when it comes to like sonically and musically speaking, I really hope to hear like certain frequencies in my music and combined with messages that really uplift the person. Or if they feel like they're having an off day or a down day, you can listen to this track that I have that makes you that reminds you to stay strong in the fire. You know what I mean? If you're having a
Right,
great day, you can listen to this track that you can celebrate with or see how far you came with. If you're in love, if you found somebody that makes you feel a type of way that you appreciate, I have music for that too. Or if you're looking for somebody um, to connect with or to grow with. I've got music for that too. I don't really ever want to box myself in. I want all my music to have a common thread through it. I want it to all be coherent, but I also want it to be versatile in the sense that like it taps every single emotion. It taps every single um, motivator within the human being, within a person. Um, that's really what I aim to make going forward. That's the number one thing that I aim for is to make the type of music that is almost hard to make sometimes, because uh, I feel like if you're pushing yourself as an artist to make music that isn't necessarily easy or super easy to digest, I feel like a listener that is really looking or searching for something out there can really appreciate that more and really.
Stop playing. Yes, it's D Black. But check this out. You want to be fresh, hot, cool like D Black? Well, I suggest you work with Golden Money Team Marketing. They'll put you out, they'll keep you out, and they'll keep the ball rolling. All you need to do is hit that link somewhere around here. Stop playing.
My music to mean something. I don't want my music to be a passive attempt at um, just gaining listeners or some sort of acclaim. It's not. It's not about that for me. It's never been about that for me. I consider my music really almost like journal entries of my life. You know, markers and indicators that people can hopefully identify with and relate to as they listen.
facts. So you have too
Yes,
much to
sir.
prove except behind that song.
Got it. So actually, a couple of years after my father passed away, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago now. I lost my baby brother. Uh, my baby brother. Yeah, my baby
Mm,
brother. Uh, you know, it's kind of it's a little debated in the community. I'll let people um, interpret it how they will. But um, he passed away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, or some uh, say that he took his life. Others say that it was an accident. But after he passed away, I remembered how much he used to push me, and you know, he was always my biggest supporter. When I was around my baby brother, man, I felt like Superman. I really did. He put that cape on me.
Right,
So once he
right, right,
passed away,
right.
yeah, yeah. So when he passed away, uh, I just I remember feeling like I'm not gonna let him down. I'm not going to um, take my life for granted. I'm not going to just lay there while um, you know he's looking down on me from wherever he may be. Uh, I took it upon myself to get up and get going and be the version of myself that he saw. Not necessarily the version of myself that I saw, but the version of myself that he saw, and believed in. And that's the man that I wanted to be. So I actually took a trip out to New York. A couple months after his passing, I went out to Brooklyn for a competition for an MCN competition, and I won. I won. And I remember standing in line. And there was so many people, man, so many people in line, and a lot of people had uh, people like their crew or their friends or family or whatever the case may be next to them. But I remember standing in that
Right.
line by myself, and yeah, standing in that line by myself, and all I could think about was my baby brother. And I slowly just started to tune in to my emotions and not let the moment get too big for me. Um, and then I jumped on that stage and I did it for him. And so that's why that my music is like that, and that's where the inspiration for that song really came from. On top of the fact that after that, it was uh, I wanted to what's it called? Uh, provide and be the best version of myself and really take those strides to be there for my whole family because we were all going through it. We all really struggled with this loss.
Got you. Man, you experienced a lot of loss,
Yeah.
and I see how that'll build you to be the strong person that you are,
Hmm.
because most people can't recover from those type of losses, especially a father. You know what I'm saying? At such a young age,
Right.
and you can hear it in your voice, the strength that you have, and that's something that speak to you as a person. And that can motivate other people from listening to this interview for sure.
Hmm.
And you never know who's dealing with loss. So anyone who's dealing with
Right.
loss, especially seeing how you're striving to be a better person, and you use them as a strength. That's something that's
Absolutely.
motivational right
Right.
there in its own. So I most
Thank you.
definitely
Thank you, Chief. I
salute you for
appreciate
that.
that. I really appreciate that.
So you got the climb back. You dropped
Yes,
that
sir.
single. So what is that actually about?
Gotcha. So the cover, the art on that's him. That's my brother. Um, the climb back, the motivation for that was really like, so I've been making music for a while, but not taking it seriously, and that's something that he used to tell me about and talk to me about in many ways. And I remember one day I just went out to my car and I put on the beat. And well, I actually heard the Cole's version of the song, J. Cole's version, and I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to make something on that same beat that really made me feel like I was in this, made me feel like I could be um, uh, in that echelon one day, made something that if he heard it one day, would he be proud of? And that was the version of that, because after he passed away, I really felt like, you know we all fell down. I fell down. My friends fell down. His friends fell down. Um, our whole community was really shocked in a lot of ways. So the climb back was almost a metaphor for how uh, I was really saying to the people around us, to the people that I loved, we might be down now, but we're on our way up. We might be hurting now, but we're climbing, and that's what matters. No matter what it is, regardless of what it is, it doesn't matter if it takes uh, 2 months or 10 years. It really doesn't matter. As long as you keep climbing, you're gonna get somewhere. You're gonna get somewhere. So that was really the motivation for that. Also, for the people that heard my earlier music, I wanted to let them know that I was serious. I wanted to let them know that this is what I do, and this is what I take pride in doing. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not laying down. I'm climbing and I'm coming back strong. And I'm doing it for him. And I'm doing it for everybody that I love. Like I said, it's very personal for me. A lot of this stuff is very personal for me. I wish that it wasn't. It's not always healthy. Like you said, like, speaking of mental health and taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself, I wasn't doing that early on. I felt a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, and I that's why I put it like that. There's that angry tone in my music, but now, upon further reflection, upon a lot of growing that I did, I really aim to uh, grow as a person and have different themes in there that support the whole person. You know what I mean? Not just the fire inside you, but the water and the air and the earth. You know what I mean? It all comes together to make something beautiful if you let it. And I think that's the key right there. You gotta embrace all aspects of yourself. So that's where I hope to take my music going forward.
Got you. So another song that interests me on SoundCloud was
Yeah,
Witch. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That you created. What is the actual meaning behind this? Like what's going on here? Like, is this a bad relationship? Like, you, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on with this one right here? You feel me? Because
Yeah,
this one was very
yeah.
interesting to me right here.
Um,
You feel me? You gotta
for
reflect on this one for me, bro. Like, I'm sure.
absolutely,
You know what
absolutely,
I'm
man.
saying? I
Yeah,
gotta have them break
absolutely,
this down because I don't think they talk about an
for sure.
actual witch. You know what I'm saying? So, what was the concept behind witch? Like,
I got you.
break this one down because I feel this based on a true story.
Hell
For
yeah,
sure.
hell yeah. It is, it is. You caught me off guard there, man. I ain't gonna lie, brother. You caught me off guard for sure, for sure. But
Okay, I gotta do my
yeah,
research. I
there's
gotta do my research. You feel me?
you man, it's amazing. It's amazing, man. I applaud you. Hell yeah, I applaud you for that. Man, you got me blushing type of thing, bro. You really. No, I gotta watch my words for this one, man. I gotta
Right,
watch
right,
my words for this
right.
one, man. So okay, honestly, I don't think anybody knows the story behind Witch. So this is a great time to really tell it. Um, so yeah, so um, there was a situation at that time. I was in a little situation, and one day, uh, it actually happened. Like I saw this individual, if you will, and then I was just so fed up that day. I was tired that day, man. I was so tired. I was so tired and just like
Yeah,
done with a lot of things. I was done with a lot of things. So that night, I went home that night. I got home that night and recorded that track. I wrote that track, recorded it all that night. It didn't take me long at all. Like it took me maybe an hour or so to write and record it because I had all this stuff on my mind, all this stuff that this pent up anger, these deeper emotions that I couldn't keep inside me anymore. You know, like I was saying earlier, I use my music to vent in a lot of ways, especially back then. So this situation was this situation was a tricky one, man. It was a tricky one. We'll leave it at that. So I recorded that
Break it
track.
down. Break it down.
You gonna get me in trouble, man. You gonna get me in trouble, dude. You're gonna get me in trouble.
We ain't saying no names. We ain't gonna name drop. You know.
Yeah.
So what actually happened? What actually happened, man? What
You
did they do?
okay? So what happened? You know what happened? Okay, I guess I'll say this much, man. I'll say this much. I was sit like I said. It was like it was a kind of situation. So I got tired of waiting. You know, I got tired of waiting. Um, I did a couple things earlier, a couple months before that, where I just like kind of did some stuff that I don't want to really get into, and I felt like that kind of impacted the way certain people looked at me and certain people were treating me, and it hurt, man. It hurt a lot. So I went home and I made that track. I decided to channel all that anger into um, that song right there, and yeah, so that's
So
basically
was this
that
song
story.
based off rejection? Let's.
It,
I just want to just because you weaving around it. So I just want to just get that one thing. Was it based off rejection
no,
or how somebody actually treated you? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
When dealing with a woman, you feel me? Because
yeah,
all men go through this. You know what I'm saying?
right.
With these females, they do play mind game.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you know, females ain't trap you. You know, you can see what happened with Shannon Sharp. They was into the same things, and now he got a
Yeah,
50 million lawsuit on his hands right now. So I totally understand where you're
yeah,
coming from. So I just want to get to the specifics because men can actually relate to what you're going through. So what actually happened
yeah,
with this
yeah,
female actually made her a witch?
yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, you're right. You're right. A lot. That's very true.
Like
A lot of men can
break
relate to
it
this song.
down. We all men here. Break it down.
I
Break it
got you.
down. There's nothing to
Okay,
be
okay,
embarrassed
okay,
about because
okay. I
all
got
men
you.
go through it. Look what Shannon Sharp going through, and he got millions, and he was trick bag.
Very
So
true.
we got
Very,
sure,
very true. You're right. You're right. And you know what?
a lot of these
If it can help
females can
somebody
have
out
that
there,
quote unquote witch
yeah.
tendency. You know what I'm saying? And they will
Hmm.
cast a spell on you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's
So just break it down for the fellas
I
for us,
got you. I
please.
got you. I got it for the fellas, man. Honestly, if it can help somebody or somebody can relate to it, I got no problem breaking it down. Yeah. So this might okay. Um basically it was like that. It was I was enchanted, man. You know, I was enchanted. I felt like this person put a spell on me in a lot of ways, and I was uh, the
Mm.
situation itself was uh, tricky, very tricky, and it was basically like um, it was basically a matter of uh, try hope it wasn't like the specific reason why I made that song was because I was tired of the situation that I was in, more so, it wasn't rejection. It definitely wasn't rejection. In fact, there were times where I wished it was rejection, You know, I wish there was like the picture could just be clear. I wish I could just get a yeah, just a clear picture, like, so what's going on here, so I can move on with my life. What's going on here, so that I don't have to hold on to this anymore, or have it weigh down on me so heavy. Uh, I just wanted a clear answer, but I just kept getting these games, and like a one day type of thing, like a one day, this will this will work out. And the funny thing is, the reason why I'm hesitating to speak, and the reason why I'm kind of uh what's it called, like weaving around it, like you said, is because it worked out. Luckily, it worked out. It worked out. So everything.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, 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 okay. So
yeah,
that was basically a
yeah.
vulnerable moment that you was in, and all couples go through it. Y'all might have a disagreement. You might not be feeling like you're getting taken serious, but it actually ended up working out. So that's a good thing. Okay,
Exactly,
so we about to
exactly, man.
wrap this thing up. So I ain't gonna keep you on for too long. You know what I'm saying? This is a
Hey,
great
no
interview.
worries.
You know
Yes,
what I'm saying? I most definitely
appreciate that.
appreciate you for disclosing the information about your father and stuff like that. A lot of people can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And you
Mhm,
experienced a lot of stuff in your
mhm,
life when it comes to hardships and death. You know what I'm saying? And y'all going through what y'all went through, struggling and stuff like that. So most definitely people can learn from this.
mhm.
Um, so I like to ask all my guests this question:
Yes, sir.
what do you value more in life, morals or money, and why?
Okay. I feel like you could answer that. I feel like the viewers could answer that already. I would hope so. By the way, I've answered some of these questions, and by the way, I like to carry myself in general. Um, it's very simple, man. It's all about morals. It's always going to be about morals. At the end of the day, no amount of money can ease your mind. No amount of money. It doesn't matter, if you have billions, millions, whatever the case may be, it'll never ease your mind to know that you went against your morals. It'll never ease your mind to know that you weren't uh, the person that you could have been. You got to hold yourself to a higher standard. And if the money comes, by all means, thank God, the money came. But how did you do it? How did you go about taking those steps to get there? That's what's really gonna matter at the end of the day. The biggest victories in my life were the moments where I had to push past something, where I had to really dig deep and find out who I was as a man, who I was as a person, who I was as an individual, and what my values were pertaining to that situation. It's in the moments, in the darkest moments, in the toughest moments, where I decided to get up and keep going, because of the morals that were instilled in me and the morals that I learned along the way, that really shaped me to become a man that I'm proud of today. It's always going to be about morals. Money is an illusion. Money is a fabrication in many ways. Like, don't get me wrong, money is very important. Of course, it's very important. In fact, um, uh, I study finance. I'm a big uh, uh, proponent. I'm a big advocate for financial literacy and understanding the ins and outs of money. I think it's very big, but I think money is like anything else. If you really understand money, money shouldn't really be a big problem. Now, when morals come into play, morals are really something that you can't buy. You can't buy good morals. You can't buy good values. You can't buy moments that you're proud of. No amount of money is gonna buy a good day either. Even like, it's not. Morals will always be what is bottom line the most important thing to a person. When you lay down your head, at the end of the day, who are you? Who were you that day? Who have you become? That's something that you're always gonna have to sit with. That's something that you're always gonna have to reflect upon. So if you sell yourself out, or sell anybody out for money, then you're really not much more than that piece of paper that you really did that for. You're not worth much at all. You could be worth, your net worth could be billions and billions of dollars, but if you're not a good person at the end of the day, and if you're not somebody that can look in the mirror, it won't mean jack shit. It really won't.
Facts, facts. That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
Thank
Um,
you, man.
Another question I like to ask to come on the show: what comes first in your life? Money, power, or respect? And explain why, and then and the way it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Money, power,
Got it.
or respect.
Okay.
What comes first
Money, power,
and why?
respect. Okay. That's a very good question. Okay.
Everybody different for this one.
Yeah.
They have some
Got
good
you.
answers. Everybody answers.
Okay. Okay. Got it. I'm gonna think about it for a second. Honestly, money, power, respect. I think both are very. I mean, all of them are very important, very essential in many ways. Money, power, or respect. It's tricky because based upon my last answer, you would think that money doesn't mean much, but I think that money is important in the sense that it can help you with a lot of things, but I don't think money could ever beat respect. You know, so I'd have to say respect is number one. In the sense of just being honest. Like I said, when you lay down your head at the end of the day, are you a person that can respect themselves? Are you a person people can respect when they speak about you? You know, yeah.
Right,
You know, I also, one of the most important things that I tell a lot of people when they ask me like, what really matters to you, or what do you hope for at the end of the day, is that I hope that especially when you deal with a lot of loss, you definitely think about it often. And I always tell people that if anything happened to me, if I pass away tragically in some sort of way, or whatever the case may be, or even if it's not tragic, one day we all leave this earth, and if that happens, or when that happens, I should say, I hope that people say he was a good man. You know, my number one thing is that I hope people
right.
say he was a good man. That's it. So I think that's very essential um, uh, in terms of those three. Also, when it comes to respect, man, I think respect can lead to the other two in a lot of ways. If you gain a lot of respect, if people respect you, power and money come. Power. When it comes to power, I'm still a human being. I'm still a man. So, um, you do want power. You do want power. You do want to get to a point where you are quote unquote powerful, if you will. But how you get there, I think, is way more important. If you get there in a way where you're respected, I think that's something that you can live with at the end of the day. And I also believe that respect and power in a lot of ways are synonymous. Meaning, if you're respected, it doesn't really matter if they even if they like you or if they don't like you. If they respect you, um, a lot of doors can open up for you. You know. Um, and then when it comes to
Right.
power, yeah. And then when it comes to power, it's power is great. Power is important, but power is also not something that I'm very familiar with right now. So I don't know if I can really speak on
I
it as
mean, you
much.
have
You know what I
the
mean?
power to improve people's lives. Power can be looked at in different ways. It's just that some people misuse their power.
Mm-hmm.
You can have the power, to walk away from situations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can look at power in different ways. Man. You
Yeah.
can affect people's lives with the power that you have, you know what I'm saying, within yourself. So power could
Right.
be a mind state as well. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Get power in different ways. It have to actually be power over people. You know, it can be power over self.
And when you put it like that, power is very important, man. I like the way you put that. I like the way you said that. You can look at it
The
different
power
ways. Yeah.
of words. You know, when you speak,
Right.
you know, you have words, so you know you can move people, you can move mountains with your words from the power
Hmm.
that you possess in your words. So power could be utilized in a lot of ways, you know. And when people talk, you know, they can be very persuasive and they could mislead people,
Hmm.
or they could guide you in the right direction.
Right.
You know, because words are powerful. So power can come from movement, actions, or your words. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Exactly.
If you
And
look at it like that.
yeah, and when you look at it like that, when you put it that way, I haven't really looked at it like that before. I really haven't. So thank you to that. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of things that
Yeah,
I think yeah, I think a lot of upcoming artists, and I'm sure you can relate as well. Sometimes we fight um, imposter syndrome in a lot of ways. We really fight to be like, do I deserve this kind of attention? Do I deserve praise? Do I deserve these things? And obviously, depending on how you were brought up, it can be hard for you. It's definitely hard for me to accept praise, or to fully like appreciate attention in some ways. Um, but when you put it like that, that's something that's very important to me. At my core, I would love to
right.
be powerful in that sense. I would love to be powerful in that sense. That would be a dream come true. Because here's the thing too. Mentioning the artists that I mentioned earlier, it was their power that really had me ride for them, in the sense that, like, when you're riding for your hero, when you're riding for somebody that you admire, power comes into play, and you appreciate um, their um, their uh, their successes.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Pinterest, and I just want to give a big shout out to Golden Money Team Marketing. Y'all make sure y'all get at them for all promo services, all marketing services, the whole nine, media, all that. Make sure y'all tell them that your girl Pinterest sent you.
Wrap it up after this. You feel me?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, of course. You gave me a lot to think about right there. That was man, that was eye opening. I love the way you put that, man. I love the way you said that. For real, with the power. And
Yeah,
you're a great host, by the way. You're a great host, man. I feel like I could talk for
I
hours with
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been in a
um,
position of power, man. I've been in that position before.
yeah.
I had people looking up to me, you know, when I was in prison.
Hmm.
So, you know, I had to utilize it in a way before the people
Hmm.
that was before me. You know what I'm saying? And a
Absolutely.
lot of people looked at me for
Hmm.
advice and an instruction. So, you know, based on what I said, it could be a riot,
Right.
or you know, we could handle it a different way. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Hmm.
know, being in that position, I know what it plays. You know what I'm saying? And you know, power. I look at power in a lot of ways. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because you don't
Hmm.
have to just have power over people. You can have power over yourself, and that's the greatest power that you can have is over self. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And having self control, because some
Right.
people don't have that. You
Sure.
know, to be
Yeah.
disrespected and
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
walk away from the situation because you have the power over self and not risk losing your freedom, you know, over words. You know,
Hmm.
certain
Hmm.
things are not necessarily profitable for you, you know, to even get into,
Right.
because you have to
Right.
think about the bigger situation and circumstance. You know, some people
Hmm.
get tricked off the street. Some people get tricked off, you know, they square. You know, some people get tricked out of their peace.
Hmm.
So, you know, you can't let people, you know, if somebody, like, you can't let people control your actions or dictate what you do from their actions. You have to be powerful in that instant to, you know, have self control and have power over
Right.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I really, in fact, I relate to that a lot. In fact, like that's something that I'm about to take with me. What you just said right there, that's something I'm gonna take with me, man. I really appreciate the way you put that. I really, really appreciate it. There were times, you know, yeah, there were times growing up the way I grew up with all that anger and whatnot, where I didn't have a lot of power over myself. I'd let my emotions um, dictate my actions in a lot of ways, you know? And that's something now, going forward that I want to change. And that's something that I had to really reflect upon um, uh, for various reasons. I really had to reflect upon that and push myself to be the higher version of myself. Sometimes you don't want to do what's easy. You don't want to take the easy route, because what's easy, that easy choice to make is typically not the best choice to make, right? So you want to express yourself, do some um, uh, deeper breathing and everything, but you want to express yourself in accurate ways. You want to be able to convey your true emotions in a way where people can understand that
Facts.
and be erratic or not having sort of power. If you're that type of person, then you don't really dictate your career, and you don't really dictate where you go in life. You just kind of go wherever your emotions go, and you just go with the flow, and that can go anywhere. That can lead anywhere, and that's really dangerous, man. So I think power is very important in the sense that you said, and gaining that
Facts.
power and stuff, all that, when you put it in the way you put it, I have no power with no problem with seeking that type of power. I got, everything that I do in a sense uh could be uh put broken down to a struggle for power within myself, within the world around me. So there's times young men or young, and not even just young men, but anybody really, especially when you're young, and or you feel like you don't have much control over your actions. And I don't even want to break that down to when you're just young. I think anybody anywhere could really feel like they don't necessarily have much control over their actions, and they can't necessarily um, feel powerful in certain situations. So I think it's very important to uh, find what brings you power, what gives you power, what lights up that fire inside you. What really keeps you going, and what can make you feel powerful in moments where you feel weak, or where you feel tired, or small. I think that that's very important. I think that power in that sense is very, very important. And then money also helps you to feel that kind of power as well. If it's money well earned, if it's money that you deserve, by all means, man, feel that money, feel that power, feel that respect. But the hope is that it comes down, it's almost like a trickle down thing that comes from the respect to the power to the money. You don't want people to respect you just because you have money and you're powerful, but you want people to respect you because of who you are as a person. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts. Facts. Facts.
yeah,
Facts. Facts. Facts.
yeah, man.
Um. So, most definitely,
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap it up. Um.
gotcha.
On that note, that was a beautiful note
Appreciate
that
it.
we leaving it off with.
So
So, I have a few more, just a few more questions.
I'm here,
When it
man.
comes to
I'm here.
music,
Yes, sir.
yeah, when it comes to music, who would you consider? Because you were in hip hop and R&B, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask hip hop first.
Hmm.
Who would be your top five artists in hip hop right now, currently?
Right now, okay. Top
Yeah,
five artists
past
in
or
hip hop, right?
present, past or present,
Oh,
past
okay,
or present. Top
okay.
five.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
get
All
your
right,
top
that makes it a lot.
five in hip hop
All right,
first.
gotcha. Past or present. Top five rappers present or past or present. Okay. This is a hard list. It's a hard list, but it's definitely a list that I can stand by. I don't know how many top fives I've given over the years, how many debates I'm sure we both had over our top five, but um, do you want do you want them in order, or just
Just your
top
top
five?
five. It don't
Perfect.
have
Okay,
to
so
be an
top.
order. Just top five.
All right,
Top
yeah.
five artists in hip hop, past to
Let's go.
present.
Let's go. All right, so the first two you put in there is you definitely got to put Pac in there. Pac is a big, Pac is a big influence of mine. In fact, I would, in the way that his every step that Pac took was towards something. You know what I mean? It was not just rap; it was bigger than rap. That's why I also act too. I've been acting, and our backgrounds are similar in terms of like the way we grew up and the influences that we had early on. I'm an actor as well, so I think Pac is big because when he raps, it's not just to be an MC; it's really to be a activist in a lot of ways. He's an activist, man. He's speaking on things that you can't necessarily speak or won't necessarily be heard if you don't put it over a beat, right? So I think that Pac is definitely in there. We also got uh like I'll put in DMX up in there too. I put DMX up in there in the sense that just how raw he was. I think we need a raw representative, not necessarily the best career or something that um rappers may necessarily like try to become, but I think that in terms of just raw real truth from the streets, from life experiences, from wherever it may be, I think X is definitely in my top five for sure, for sure. And then I'd go after that I would probably put Jay Z. I gotta put Jay
Okay.
Z up in there.
Pac,
Yeah, because
DMX, Jay Z.
yes sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You got it.
All
You
three
got it.
from New York. All
Yeah,
three of them from New York. You know, Pac is originally from New York.
I
So
do
you
know
got
that.
three New York.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So
I'm a.
Pac,
Yeah,
DMX, Jay Z.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Exactly. Why you think I made that trip? Why you think I made that trip? I made that trip to know that I could do it. To prove
Yeah.
myself, prove it to myself for sure, for sure.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Jay Z. In terms of like honestly who he became, you know. Jay, I really think embodies the right steps to take. He really embodies where you want your career to go. So I think Jay is definitely huge, man. I think I don't think the album Blueprint was just named for no reason, man. He really set the blueprint out there. Take these steps and you be where I'll be, where I am. I mean, you know. So
Facts.
Jay,
Facts.
yeah, yeah. So Jay definitely up there. Um, After that, I'm about to give you another New Yorker. Uh, it's I gotta.
Hey y'all, it's Ari Music here. Listen, if you're looking for any marketing, any promotional tools, things of that sort to give you that extra little push that you need, make sure you hit up Golden Money Team Marketing for all the things that you need. See y'all soon.
Too big.
Mm. Pac,
Got to.
DMX,
Got to.
Jay Big. Okay.
Yeah.
Four
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
from New York. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
Right, man. Yeah, cause what Big did, man. Big to me, what Big did was he was unfiltered, uncut himself. What he really felt, what was really raw, what was on his mind, what was in his heart, he put on the track and didn't give a damn what anybody had to say about it. And I think that opened the door for a lot of influences after him. And I really appreciate how he would make songs that people would be shocked by, but couldn't help but appreciate in many, many ways, for sure.
You know, when I look at
Yeah.
Big, artist that I compare to Big is Eminem in a
Mm-hmm.
way, because the
Mm-hmm.
shit that Eminem used to
Yeah.
say, Big used to already be saying shit like that, like some, lyrical off the wall shit. Like you be like, damn, I can't believe he said that shit, type of
Exactly.
shit. So I
Exactly.
think M probably mimicked his style after Big in a way. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
for sure, I can
Absolutely.
hear some Biggie in M. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Definitely.
Eminem, because the shit he say, bro, it's like, damn, like, how did y'all even think of this type
Right.
of shit? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
how would you even say? And they, and they was able to say it and get away with it because they were so talented.
Right.
People, and gifted. People, admired them for their talent and gifts, and they are the storytellers. So, however, they was able to put their metaphors and whatever crazy shit they did say, it was killing your mama or whatever.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was something that they never heard before.
Exactly, man. 100%. That's really it, man. That's why I think those two are so raw. I mean, genuinely so raw, and they really paved the way for artists like me to really use that beat as more than just a beat, but really a platform to express your deepest, darkest thoughts. Sometimes, like that song "Witch," man. It's like, you know, uh, I never back then, especially, I never really considered like people would hear people would hear this and be like, oh damn, like see you the next day, right? I just made the track and just let it out there. It
Right,
wasn't
right,
really
right,
for people to,
right.
it wasn't really necessarily for people to hear and feel a type of way about, but rather like, this is what I need to say right now. And I think that's definitely what they did, man. And they really influenced us in that sense in a lot of ways, man. And for sure, bro. And for the fifth spot, man, it's like a three-way tie, man. I don't know if you could just do five, but for the fifth spot, man, it either be in between, like you said, it'd be Cube, or Andre, for different
We'll put
reasons.
all
So
three of them at the five then. It ain't. We'll put all three of them at the
let's
five. We
do
got
it.
Pop,
Exactly.
DMX,
Yup.
Jay Z,
Yup.
Biggie, M.
Uh-huh.
You said Ice Cube and who else? And Andre
Yup.
3000.
Yup. Yup.
Yeah, I mean, shit, them all top artists right there.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right, man. It's too hard, man. Top
So
five might be a little too small, man. They all gotta be up there, honestly, in their own way, for their own different reasons. That's why they all just amazing, man. They really paved the way for us to be so versatile. The music that we hear today, the artists that we hear today, we owe everything to those guys, man. We really owe everything to them. You shouldn't be taken lightly. It's like without these trailblazers at the forefront of their music at the time, we wouldn't be here, man. And for them, it was so much harder. It was way harder for them. Like for them to be talking about what they were talking about, doing what they were doing, it was unprecedented at the time. So those folks I owe everything to in this music game. Absolutely. Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, hip hop and R&B has evolved. Pop, rock, all these genres
Yeah.
have evolved over time for sure.
Right.
So if someone was trying to find your music, where can they find your music at? You know,
Yeah.
and when it comes to your social medias,
Hmm.
how can people find you on social media as well?
Got it. Yeah, you can find me on social media at Simba Now, Simba Forever, on IG. It's pretty simple. Um, and I got my music on SoundCloud under Tuesday's Finest. That's the group and the company, if you will. That's really the company that I'm trying to build behind all the music, to really become a platform for myself and artists like me. And then for YouTube, you can find me at Simba X, and Simba X is under, so it goes Simba $IM6AX, and there's a whole reason
Mm,
behind that too. Yeah, it's like
right,
the
right.
influences. Yeah, all the
Gotcha.
all the stuff in life. Yeah, yeah. You could kind of read into it if you check it out. Yeah, yeah, man. That's
So,
that's that's me. Yeah.
so for your future projects, what type of future projects can we look forward to,
Mhm.
and would you be releasing them through a DSP, through a distribution?
Mhm.
Like, what can we look forward to in the future from you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. In the future, man, I'm gonna be everywhere. I'm gonna be everywhere. Absolutely. So it's gonna be everywhere you can find music. I'm working on a project right now. Actually, I'm working on a project right now. I'm working on a lot of different songs, a lot of different sounds. I got a couple songs in there that I'm really, really proud of, and I think will really resonate with people and even shock some of my fans, in terms of the growth that they're gonna see here. Um, when it comes out, it'll be everywhere. You could definitely check for it on my IG. I'll be posting about it constantly, 24/7. And the big thing about it is that it's not gonna stop. That's the number one thing that I would want the listeners to listen to and to really take away from this portion right here, is that I don't intend on stopping at all. It's just gonna be nonstop,
Right.
just coming for coming for those ears, those wavelengths. I can't stop because there's people that count on you. You know, there's people that are looking forward to that next track, that are looking for the next piece of something, piece of content, whatever. I have a lot of things planned, a lot of things in mind that I'm really about to dive into almost immediately here. That's why this interview is so perfect. It's perfect timing in terms of you're gonna see a lot from me in the next couple months, and hopefully forever on afterwards. It's gonna be nonstop. You know, every week, every day. There'll be something to digest. Absolutely. Yeah.
Facts,
Yeah.
facts. So I most definitely appreciate you for coming on.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me, man.
If you need any help with the music, we are affiliated with Golden Money Team
Got it.
Marketing.
Yep.
They also help artists with their music, manage their music,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with management, social media management and things of that
Yeah.
sort. So
Yeah.
most definitely holler at them if you need help with that,
Got it.
to build your social media presence, and also to be able to have the insight on, what you need to do as an artist in your music career.
For
Um,
sure. For sure.
so they are sponsoring Street Dialogue Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Golden Money Team Marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You can also follow them on Instagram at Golden Money Team Marketing, where they
Right.
market your product 24/7 around the clock.
Got it.
I most definitely appreciate you for coming on the
Appreciate you
show,
for
and like
having
I
me.
tell everybody, my brother,
Yes, sir.
salute. You know
Salute.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely, man. It's been a pleasure.
feel
Yeah.
free to come on, man. If you want to talk about some topics, man, we most definitely could chop it up, and we
Heck yeah,
can
I'll be back. I'll
do
be back,
something,
man.
off topic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
On what's actually going on. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I most definitely appreciate you, my brother.
I appreciate you as well, deeply, man. And I also want to say thank you for your hustle, man. We was talking earlier, man. You hustling, you grinding, man. You providing this platform is very important. It's very essential, man. It really is, man. And I really appreciate you even just as a man, as an individual. The little bits of your life that you share with me, man. You got strength, man. You got a lot of strength inside you,
Thank you.
I can see that easily, and it's really it really shows, and it's an inspiration for those that look up to you, man. For real.
I appreciate that, my brother.
Right on,
Most
bro.
definitely, you can hit me up in the DMs.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shit,
Yep.
I'm open. You know what I'm saying? I'm like an open book,
Gotcha.
So any information you need, any help you need, reach out to me. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I got you. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? For sure.
Yes, sir. We'll do. We'll do. You got it, man.
All right, and we out.
All
That
right.
Street Dialogue Podcast, baby.
Yup. Go follow.
All
Go
right,
follow for sure.
brother.
For sure. Tune in. Check in.
For sure.
Absolutely.
All right,
All right, brother.
and we out.
And we out.
Salute.
All right, Chief.
All right.
Shout out Golden Money Team Marketing. If you need any advice on how to market yourself, it's Golden Money Team all the way.
Hustler. Keep the mind of a hustler. Mind of a hustler. Mind of a hustler. Mind of a hustler. Mind of a hustler.